Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to prepare and sow beets so that they sprout the next day after sowing. And it doesn't matter whether you sow ordinary, unprofessional, untreated beet seeds or treated beet seeds that have undergone pre-sowing treatment and are painted in a certain color. All seeds need to be prepared because the main reasons why beets do not germinate are when seeds are sown without preparation, and also when the beds are not prepared properly, because not all the soil is suitable for beets. And the third reason is that the soil temperature is still very low. I will tell you about all of this in the video, but first we need to prepare the seeds. I'm going to plant two varieties, so I take two containers, put ordinary and professional seeds in them, and pour warm water over them and leave them for 5 hours so that they absorb as much moisture as possible. Do not worry that fungicides will be washed off the treated seeds. The probability that the beets will get sick immediately after germination is very low, but the probability that dry seeds will not germinate is very high. Therefore, it is better to soak beet seeds. After 5 hours of soaking, when all the treatment has not been washed off, we take a container and put a paper towel in it, drain the water in which the seeds were soaked, and put the seeds on this napkin. And add a little water so that the napkin is completely wet, but so that the seeds do not float in the water. If you pour too much, be sure to drain the rest and cover all the seeds with a damp cloth on top. Then we put a regular bag on this container. This is necessary to prevent moisture from evaporating, and leave the seeds in a warm place for 2 days. For example, I used to leave these containers with seeds in the greenhouse for a day and bring them into the house at night, because the nights are still cool, so that the germination of the seeds does not stop, and then take them back to the greenhouse. On the second day, the beet seeds began to germinate. As you can see, the roots have already appeared, both on the treated seeds and on the usual untreated ones. Now we can plant all the seeds that have roots, and we don't plant seeds without roots. This way, we get 100% germination on the second day after sowing the seeds, because the seeds have already started to germinate, but the beds also need to be prepared. Now we take the seeds and put them on a dry napkin so that they dry out a little and do not stick to our hands when sowing, and then we go to prepare the bed. First, the bed needs to be dug up. If your soil is very hard and dense, then be sure to add compost or rotted manure and dig up the bed. This way, it will become more moisture absorbing and loose, because in dense soil you will not get seedlings quickly and the yield will be very small. Then you need to make grooves in the bed about 5 centimeters or 2 inches deep, and the distance between the grooves should be about 20 centimeters or 8 inches. This is so that when the beets grow, they do not compete with each other for moisture and light. But that's not all. Beets also do not like acidic soil and will not grow normally in it. You can find out how to check the acidity of the soil on the internet, or you can buy this device, which I bought on the internet a long time ago. It measures temperature, humidity, and soil acidity. As you can see, the acidity of my soil is 7, it's a neutral soil, and beets will grow well in such soil. If your soil is acidic and it's 4 or 5, then you need to deoxidize it. It is best to do this in the fall, but you can also do it now, right before sowing. To do this, you will need either dolomite flour or lime. In my case, I am showing you not slaked, but it is better to use slaked, or even better to buy ordinary chalk in the form of powder and add it. I will use it to show you how to do it. You don't need too much of it. I use a garden trowel to dust the beds with chalk. As you can see, I didn't pour too much of it, but then I need to mix it with the soil. And before sowing, be sure to spill the bed well. This will compact the soil and make it as moist as possible in the place where the seeds will be directly located. I water well so that the water stands in the rows. Wait until it is completely absorbed into the soil and proceed to planting the seeds. I sow only those that have roots, and also look at the roots if they are still small. In this state, it is very easy to plant seeds. Don't wait until they grow very long and intertwine with each other. You can easily break off the long roots, and this will harm the seedlings. But this is not very critical in beets, because several sprouts grow from one seed, has 2 roots, and sometimes 5 or 6 roots. That's why we always thin out the beets after germination. I sow the seeds at a distance of about 3 centimeters or 1.5 inches from each other. But this distance is only suitable for germinated seeds. If you are not going to germinate, then sow more densely. Then I cover the immediately sown row with soil because the sun is shining very strongly now and it can harm the roots. And at the end of the video, I'll talk about the third but very important factor that affects the rapid germination of seeds, which is soil temperature. If the soil temperature is below 15 degrees Celsius or 59 degrees Fahrenheit, then even germinated beet seeds will take about 7 days to germinate. But if the temperature is above 15 degrees Celsius or 59 degrees Fahrenheit, then the seeds will germinate much faster. The temperature in the sun is now 28 degrees Celsius or 82 Fahrenheit, but the temperature of the soil is much lower at 16 degrees Celsius or 61 Fahrenheit. Judging by the readings of this device, you can also determine for yourself what the soil temperature is now. Subtract 12 degrees Celsius or 21 degrees Fahrenheit from the temperature in the sun and you will get the temperature of the soil, but it is better to buy such a device. After we have planted the seeds and sprinkled them with a thin layer of soil, no more than 1 centimeter or half an inch, we water again to press the soil to the seeds, and under conditions like mine, the first beet shoots will appear the second day after sowing, but you need to keep the soil moist. So be sure to follow these tips from the video. Germinate the seeds, don't sow the beets until the soil warms up, and be sure to prepare the bed so that the soil is neutral. Then you will get fast germination and a big harvest. If you found the information in this video useful, be sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any new videos. I wish you a good day and I'll see you in the next video.